Hello and welcome to Tank and AFV News. Today we are taking a look at Ostfront Panzers 1. This is last year of the war. So this book is it's essentially a photo collection book looking at images of different German, mostly armor. There's actually a few unarmored vehicles in here too. But from the last year of the war, this one is the first book to be put out by the Kozitsyn Vyacheslav Publishing, not very good with Russian names, or as their website, just KV Publishing. So hey, you know, KV Publishing, always good to have a Russian tank reference in your name when you're doing World War II armor. And then we got the other authors down here: Alexander Tomzov, Alesky Nechayev, Viktor Ukov, and Sergei Molina. Hopefully I didn't slaughter those too badly. This is a very nice book. It is, if you are familiar with the Panzer series, it's going to be very familiar. And in fact, I think the guys that are publishing this, they've done some of the Panzer books with Panzer. And I did notice that this one is available through the Panzer website, as well as the KV Publishing website. I've not seen that. This is not on Amazon yet, so I don't know if it's really, or at least the U.S. Amazon website. So if people are interested in it, they're going to have to go to, like I said, either your Panzer site or the KV Publishing site. But you know, simple Google search and they'll be there, and I'll post those in the video description link. Now, on to the book, of course, because that's what you're here to learn about. It is, like I said, if you're familiar with Panzer series, this format, it's very similar in format and in quality. So, because my tripod can only go so high, I can't show both pages at once. So we're just going to have to sort of go with a single-page view here. So I'm going to end up moving the book back and forth a little bit. Inside cover here goes right into it. You got the introduction and the index, so no wasted space here. They just get right into it, which is nice because you know you don't want to pay for blank space. You want content, and there's a lot of good content in here. The layout tends to be sort of a single large photo or maybe two photos per page. The way it's laid out, so it starts with Poland and Danzig, then it does self-propelled guns in East Prussia, then Hungary, Cetin area, the advance into Germany, picturesque Austria, and the end of the war in Czechoslovakia. Nothing jumped out at me as something I'd seen before. I'm thinking most of these photos are going to be things that have not been published or are not familiar to most people out there. Like I said, the title says Panzers. You know, obviously here it's a half track with a 15-centimeter artillery piece it's towing. So it's a variety of German combat vehicles. It'd probably be a more accurate title, but that's okay because that stuff is interesting too. So here we can see a half track and the back end of I assume looks like a Vespa there, and sort of flip through so you get an idea. Half tracks. There's some interesting stuff in here and some unusual stuff because obviously it's covering the last year of the war, so that's going to be, you know, the Germans are really kind of scraping together whatever they can, and also some really late model variant stuff. So like here's a nice picture of Panzer IV with the mesh shirts on the side there instead of the solid plate. Flip through here a little bit. You know, the quality of the pictures, like you can see this one sort of got a weird shadow in it, and that's, I'm sure, has to do with the original photo. It's not a printing error on the part of the publisher. Obviously, when you're dealing with archival photos, they're not all perfect because camera technology was not particularly awesome at that particular point in time. And, you know, it's sort of amazing that a lot of these photos look as good as they do. Flip through here a little bit more. So plenty of Panthers, Tiger 2s, not very many Tigers in here. Like, I don't think there's any Tiger 1s, which that was a pretty rare beast in the last year, and really not that many Tiger 2s either in this book. Like I said, as far as the armored vehicles, it's sort of what you'd expect, which is more Stugs and Panzer IVs. So here's a couple more Panzer IVs, or I should say a Panzer IV and a Stug. I think this is one lone illustration. Everything else is all photos, and you can sort of see the source material on the other side there. And I'll just call it Hetzer. I know Hetzer's not the correct title, but for lack of a better word, there's images of Panzer 38s as well. Here's a truck. Flip through some oddball items like you know, a Panzer 38 turret mounted in a concrete base being used as a bunker. So, you know, it's kind of that kind of desperation at this point of the war, because, you know, how effective would that be? Well, you know, it's hard to say, but probably more useful than putting that turret on the original tank and trying to fight that. Some interesting pictures of vehicles on trains, which of course was an important way that the Germans moved their armored vehicles around. This will sort of flip through real quick, give people an idea. Obviously these vehicles are all in various different states of having been destroyed. You know, this is a pretty catastrophic explosion on this particular Panzer 38. This is an unusual one. This one I was not familiar with. It is obviously 88 millimeter flak, obviously, on a bus chassis of some sort. They say it's the Omnibus Type 70 bus. So this was a mobile anti-aircraft gun, probably used in the city, and sure wasn't really intended probably for direct engagement against ground forces, but you know, as the Soviets are coming through these cities, they probably didn't have much choice in the matter. Hummel. So it gives you an idea. Here's the Hungarian Nimrod. So, photo of the bus with the 88 on it. And of course, nice pictures of Panthers in various states of either being abandoned or destroyed. Panzer IVs, of course. More Panzer IVs. Occasionally they do have these QR codes, so you can take your phone and take a picture of those, and it'll, I believe, gives you the geographic location of where these vehicles were, in case people want to know that information. There's another unusual photo of the Waffentrager 88. Definitely a rare vehicle and sort of a very slightly perplexing one. It's a whole lot of gun on not much chassis, that's for sure. Very definition of, I believe, glass cannon, you would say in gaming terms. Here is an Italian M1340, which was, they say, part of SS Panzer Company 105. I can't imagine anybody who was terribly happy to be told they had to crew one of those in 1945 when you're growing up against, you know, Soviet T-34-85s and IS-2s. I mean, not a particularly great vehicle in the best of circumstances, but not a very appealing situation in 1945. Here's another interesting one. A Panzer 1B chassis with the drilling MG. I think they're 15 centimeter guns, 3 of them in anti-aircraft mount. Again, I'm not sure I'd ever seen an image of that before. So yeah, so that gives you an idea of what to expect from this. Sort of flip to the end here, because I don't want to show you all the good stuff. You need to buy the book yourself and find out. But I showed you some of the more interesting stuff, and if anybody wanted ideas for maybe if you're doing a little late war diorama of German armor as it was abandoned and or destroyed, might give you some ideas. It is, let's see, 96 pages total. So I don't, for this one I don't have one of those cheat sheets the publishers usually send me, so I don't know the exact number of photos, but I would assume it's a little over 100 since you got 96 pages, 1 or 2 pictures per page. Price-wise, like I said, I didn't see a US listing, but the Panzerwreck and the KV Publishing page listed as €25, so, you know, do the conversion. This is, obviously it's a soft cover. And yeah, if you're a fan of the Panzerwreck series, you're going to like these. I mean, it's almost identical in format and in quality. So I wish these guys the best luck. It'd be great to see more of these as they continue to dig up historic photos of these vehicles. So I will put those links to the 2 different places where it's available, and if people are interested, they can go there and learn more. And I really do appreciate, because this one was sent to me directly by KV Publishing, so I really appreciate them letting me have a look at this. Really great book. Pairs quite nicely if you haven't seen the Panzer Wreck Fall of Berlin book that I reviewed a few months ago. I would recommend that as well if you want pictures of really late war German armor. So, alright, well, that said, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.